Hello everybody, welcome back to 10-Minute Reviews. I'm Jason. My fuzzy co-star is probably going to attack me like a missile as soon as she realizes I'm up here. We're bringing you today's video. As always guys, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We've got a ton of videos coming out. We just love to talk about books. It's what we want to do, what we hope to do for a long period of time. We're going to do it anyway, but any support you guys may want to give us with likes and subscriptions would be very, very appreciated. There's the fuzzy co-star. Say hi, Freya. Not Henry. Say hi. Freya, say hi. Okay, so this is Freya. Maybe I'm going to talk about a book. Okay. Okay, so today I want to talk about book 2 in a new series. I talked about book 1 already. I want to talk about Macronomicon. Again, pretty sure it's a pen name. God, I hope it's a pen name. And his book, Plot Holes. And this is book 2 of a new series he came out with. His other series, I can't remember the name of it now, it's absolutely fantastic. And then stumbling into this series was great. The first book, Problem with Princesses, and now Plot Holes. So I'm going to skip the usual 4 categories I talk about because I talked about those in the first video. I just want to talk about the book a little bit because, guys, this book got even better. First off, I absolutely love Macronomicon. His writing style is awesome. I spend so much time laughing. I end up reading little excerpts out loud to my wife all the time. It's just absolutely hilarious, the dialogue and how he manages to take a medieval adjacent swords and sorcery type of thing and actually put pop culture references into it that make logical sense in context. It's pretty funny. It's just absolutely amazing. So we are continuing the journey and adventures of Calvin, the hopeful wizard king, the most definitely neurodivergent wizard, sorcerer, maybe just thief that hopes to eventually become a wizard king and plans to eventually become an all-powerful wizard king. And he continues to do what anybody out there that games would know as min-maxing. He attempts to, every time he attempts to get his I guess lesser stats up a little bit higher, something always seems to occur that ends up dropping his stats right back down. But he really focuses on what is most important to him and his class and his goals. So he very much is a min-maxer. He is an absolute definition of a glass cannon. So this time around, he is sent with his crutch, I suppose you could say, Princess Kayla, excuse me, to help her with some negotiations. Sorry about that. And the idea is to, well, not to help her with negotiations, to bodyguard her. Him and his company that he had been assigned to the prior book, to build a fort. And of course that went very interesting ways. So now he's being sent to bodyguard Princess Kayla in another kingdom, in a neighboring kingdom that they're hoping to ally with, or at least get to stop working against them. It's kind of like in between in this little war that's going on. And of course there's shady things going on in there as well, but Calvin being Calvin, of course, some of the first things he does when he goes in there, he starts to destabilize the economy, thereby making a few enemies here and there. Then he starts to find out a little bit more about the town, the ruling people, makes a couple more enemies. And then he decides to actually deliberately destabilize, not the economy, but destabilize the economic foundations of a couple of the ruling people to try and get a little bit of leverage, basically. And he wants to destabilize the economy. So doing this, he manages to discover, I suppose, a kind of a linchpin out in the middle of the desert. And there's some really cool magic in here. They use this kingdom, they use a lot of glass because they're out in the desert. But magical glass, their swords are made out of glass, whips, walls, buildings. I mean, everything's some form of magical and enchanted or created glass. It's pretty cool. He's already managed to find a glass maker, almost a legendary level glass maker. Kind of, don't really own the guy. Buy up his debts, pretty much. Yeah, he pretty much owns him. But then out in the desert, he manages to find this kind of a linchpin to the big bad's economic foundations and decides he's going to screw with the guy a little bit. Well, this turns into quite the adventure. They get their butts kicked, they kick a few butts, they set some plans, those plans kind of fail, then they succeed in other ways. Typical Calvin stuff. The guy's pretty much just stumbling and bumbling his way through. Sometimes he is so incredibly competent and overpowered, it's amazing, and other times you kind of wonder if he's not walking around with a stuffed tiger next to him and just bumbling through life. In fact, that wouldn't surprise me if that's where Macronomicon got the name Calvin from. But we get a few hints of a few things going on within this town. We learn a lot more about Elliot and the past that kind of created this system, or how this system was created, and some more of the harbingers that they talk about in the first book. Learn a little bit more of what Elliot is capable of, what he has done in the past, and he starts to coalesce in his own abilities as well and get stronger. He's still working with Calvin-ish. He is a little bit more invested in Calvin, but you can tell he's also still doing his own thing as well, making his own plans for the future, as is Nadia. But Elliot definitely seems to be evolving, and what he can do seems to be evolving, which is pretty cool, because Calvin gets himself into a little bit of a pickle that you can tell, there's definitely a lot of hints dropped in there that you can tell is going to lead to some pretty amazing things from Calvin further in the future. You could definitely see some prophecy type of things that are pretty obviously linked to Calvin. I think it's supposed to be a big shocking reveal, but it's not. It's truly not. It's so incredibly obvious. Pretty much from the very first time it's even marginally mentioned, way before Calvin even really gets involved with it. So it's, no great big reveal when it kind of is revealed near the end, but it's pretty fascinating. And Calvin's continuing evolution and his amazing ability to just generate the strangest and most powerful allies. And that's what he continues doing in book 2. He's getting more legendaries, more legendary break allies, 8 break legends, stuff like that. And then manages to, I'm going to guess, pretty much build an army. Sorry about that. Build an army of them. So I'm very much looking forward to book 3, and I hope book 3 comes out very, very, very soon. Although, again, I hope Macronomicon is not dropping his other series, because I'm desperately waiting for book 5 on the continuing adventures of Jet Trapper as well. So, guys, if you guys like litRPG, you guys like amusing books, fun books, if you've read any of Macronomicon's other stuff, or really most of the books that we talk about on this channel, you would absolutely love this series. If you've read The Problem with Princesses and hadn't noticed Plot Holes was out, go read it. If not, go, after you hit the like and subscribe buttons, go read The Problem with Princesses. Absolutely hilarious. And then hopefully by the time you finish book 2, maybe book 3 will be out. Thank you everybody for watching. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now.